Have you ever noticed how, sometimes, your mind seems to be your biggest obstacle? That inner voice that insists on telling you what could go wrong, even when nothing has happened yet. Today I'm going to share how I learned to switch negative thoughts to positive ones in a matter of seconds, and how this simple shift transformed my entire reality. I remember exactly what it was like to live as a hostage to my own thoughts. It was as if every day began with a silent shadow following me. Even before I got out of bed, my mind was already firing off. This is going to go wrong. You're not going to make it. It's going to be another heavy day. These phrases repeated like a scratched record. And the most curious thing is that I didn't even realize how much they were shaping me. I knew nothing about manifestation, vibrational alignment, or energetic frequency. So I believed that this pattern was simply reality. But the truth is, I was creating day after day a reality that reflected exactly the energy I was putting out. Over time, I began to feel the weight of it in my body. It was as if every negative thought had a physical weight, slowing my steps and shortening my breath. Until, in a moment of emotional exhaustion, I decided I couldn't go on like this. That's when I discovered something that changed everything. Thoughts are not absolute truths. They are mental habits. And habits can be changed the instant we become aware of them. This realization was like opening a door I didn't even know existed. I understood that every thought is energy, and that energy can be shifted immediately before it takes root. I started with a simple yet powerful exercise: immediate substitution. Every time a negative thought came up, I forced myself to mentally create the opposite, infused with a powerful intention. For example, "This is going to go wrong" gives everything is flowing for my highest good. The universe is conspiring in my favor. "I can't do this" gives I am capable and ready for this challenge. "I'm unlucky" gives I am a magnet for blessings and opportunities. At first, it felt forced. A part of my mind would react, saying, "This isn't true." But I realized it wasn't about believing it right away. It was about training my mind to change direction. I was teaching my brain to choose new neural pathways. After a few days of practice, I noticed something different. My energetic frequency was shifting. Small things began to happen. People reacted more kindly. Situations unfolded more smoothly. It was as if I was finally aligning with my desired reality. That's when I discovered that it wasn't enough to just change the words. I had to feel the new thought. That was the key to transforming a mental exercise into a real co-creation process. I began combining creative visualization with thought substitution. If I said, "Everything is going to work out," I would close my eyes and imagine myself in the final scene, seeing everything happening perfectly. I didn't just see it, I felt the emotion of victory, peace, and gratitude. And here's the secret. The universe doesn't just respond to what we say, but to what we consistently feel. When thought and emotion align, we create a magnetic pull that draws experiences to us on the same frequency. In the beginning, the manifestations were small, an unexpected message I'd been waiting for weeks, an invitation to an event that opened new doors, a solution to a problem that seemed impossible. But I knew this wasn't coincidence. I was sending a new order to the universe. I want experiences that match this vibration. And because the law of attraction never fails, life began to respond. Over time, this process stopped being a conscious effort and became automatic. When a negative thought arose, my mind would instantly search for a positive alternative almost without me noticing. It was like changing radio stations to listen to a better song. I also realized that by making this switch, I was cultivating something much deeper: gratitude. Because when I consciously created a positive thought, I started noticing more good things, even small ones. And gratitude, as I learned in practice, is one of the most powerful energies for manifestation. This shift didn't erase all the challenges in my life, but it completely changed how I related to them. No matter what happened, I knew I had an internal tool to change my vibration instantly and not let a bad moment define my entire day. In the next part, I'll share the practical step-by-step I developed to replace any negative thought with a positive one in under 1 minute, a simple method that requires no object or preparation, and that you can apply anywhere. When I realized I could switch my negative thoughts to positive ones, I knew I had to turn this into something practical. I didn't want it to be just a nice idea in theory, but a natural reflex, something so simple it could be applied even in the middle of chaos. No matter where you are, in traffic, in a meeting, in a bank line, or even in the middle of a difficult conversation, this method works. I call it a vibrational shortcut, a quick route to get out of fear, anxiety, or doubt and back into vibrational alignment with your desired reality. And this step-by-step didn't come from a book, it was born from necessity. I needed something that would work in my daily life, in the heat of the moment. Because life doesn't pause for us to wait for our energy to change on its own. Step 1. Recognize the negative thought. Immediately, the first key is to notice what's happening at the exact moment it appears. Most people live on autopilot and don't realize they're feeding thoughts that drain their energy. But the body always gives signals. For me, the trigger was a tightness in my chest, as if the air had become heavy. For others, it might be a knot in the stomach, tension in the jaw, or a deep sigh for no apparent reason. When I feel that signal, I ask myself a simple question: what did I just think? This moment of awareness is like turning on the light in a dark room. Without it, we keep walking forward without realizing we're stepping into dangerous territory. Once I identify the thought, I'm already starting to gain power over it. Step 2. Interrupt the mental sequence. The mind loves to create fear movies. A negative thought rarely stands alone, it pulls in another, which pulls in another. And before you know it, you're imagining the worst possible scenario. That's why, when I notice the sequence starting, I need to cut it immediately. I do this with something physical. I lightly clap my hand, stouch my own arm, or even say mentally, cancel. This small act is like telling the brain, stop. We're changing routes right now. It's a vibrational cut, a break in the energetic flow that was forming. Step 3. Create the opposite thought with powerful intention. Here's where the magic happens. I take the negative thought and create its opposite, but not in a generic way. It needs to be loaded with powerful intention. If my mind says, "You're going to fail," I don't just respond with "I won't fail." I say, "I am capable, I am prepared, and everything flows in my favor." If it says, "This never works out," I respond, I am a magnet for solutions and opportunities. Everything cooperates for my highest good. The difference lies in the energetic weight of the phrase. It's not just positive, it's affirmative, definitive, and full of conviction. Step 4. Activate creative visualization. Once I have the positive thought, I close my eyes, even if just for 5 seconds, and see myself living the ideal outcome. It's not enough to vaguely imagine it. You need to create a vivid mental picture. The environment, colors, sounds, people's expressions, sensations in your body. If I'm about to give a presentation and anxiety hits, I close my eyes and see myself on stage, speaking clearly, seeing smiles in the audience, hearing applause. I feel the confidence as if it's happening right at that moment. Step 5. Feel gratitude as if it has already happened. This is the glue that seals everything. After visualizing, I give thanks as if it's already real. Thank you, universe, for this already happening. Gratitude not only raises my energetic frequency instantly, it also reinforces to the universe that I've already accepted that reality as true. And by the law of attraction, what we accept and feel as real begins to come closer. Everything we attract is a result of the frequency we maintain. Negative thoughts lower that frequency and attract experiences on the same vibration. When we make this immediate switch, we don't give the energy time to become denser. It's like changing a radio station. If I don't like the song, I turn the dial. I don't sit there waiting for the song to change on its own. Once, on my way to an important meeting, my mind started, "You're not going to convince anyone. They'll reject your proposal. You're not ready." In the past, I would have let that spiral grow until I walked into the room feeling insecure and nervous. But that day, I took a deep breath, made the physical cut, created the opposite thought. My presence is welcome. My idea is valuable, and everything flows perfectly. Closed my eyes and saw myself being welcomed enthusiastically. The result: the meeting was approved with sincere praise. Another day, I missed the bus and automatically thought, "Great, my day's already off to a bad start." But I quickly cut it. Everything happens for my highest good. Maybe the universe is protecting me or creating an opportunity. When I finally caught the next bus, I ended up sitting next to someone I had an inspiring conversation with, who later introduced me to a project I got involved in. Before an important conversation, I started imagining all the worst-case scenarios. I went through the process, recognized, cut, substituted, visualized, and gave thanks. In the real conversation, what could have turned into conflict became mutual understanding. This method is simple but profound. It's like a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger it gets, and the faster the shift happens. At first, it takes conscious effort, but over time, the brain starts to react this way automatically. When I started replacing my negative thoughts with positive ones, I quickly realized the technique worked. But there was one challenge. On good days, it was easy to apply. On hard days, when everything seemed to be going wrong, it was as if the mind wanted to prove that negativity was more realistic. It was at this point that I understood the key is not just knowing how to make the switch, but training the mind so that the positive becomes the default, not the exception. In the beginning, I had to use the method several times a day. Over time, my goal became reducing the frequency of negative thoughts and increasing the time I could remain in vibrational alignment with my desired reality. There's a common mistake: waiting for the negative thought to appear before dealing with it. It's like letting the food burn on the stove and only then trying to save it. I learned that I can feed my mind with positive thoughts before I even need them. It's like creating a high-frequency energy reserve, a solid base that prevents my vibration from dropping so easily. And this doesn't mean living in denial of problems or pretending nothing bad exists. It means consciously choosing where I place my focus, knowing that what I feed will grow, to make positive thinking my natural state. One created a few daily habits. They work as vibrational maintenance, keeping my energy aligned and preparing me to face any challenge with greater clarity. Morning alignment: when I wake up, before I even touch my phone, I say a simple affirmation. Today, my energetic frequency is high and everything conspires for my highest good. This phrase, repeated with powerful intention, sets the vibrational tone for the day. Moments of gratitude throughout the day: I don't wait until the end of the day to be grateful. When something good happens, even a small gesture, I take a mental pause and say, "Thank you, universe." This practice reinforces the magnetic attraction for more of the same. Scheduled creative visualization: at least once a day, I close my eyes for a few minutes and visualize something I desire as if it were already real. I don't just imagine it, I feel the corresponding emotion. Filtering what I consume: everything I watch, read, and listen to feeds my mind. I avoid content that drains my energy and seek out what inspires, motivates, and strengthens positive thinking. Even with these practices, it's impossible to avoid all negative thoughts. They will appear, and that's okay. The difference lies in how long we stay inside them. Before, I could spend hours or even days stuck in a bad mental pattern. Today, with practice, I can notice it and return to alignment in minutes, sometimes in seconds. That's the real goal: not to never feel negativity, but to not identify with it, to treat it as a passing visitor, not a permanent resident. One day, I received 3 pieces of bad news in a row. My automatic reaction would have been, "Well, that's it. My day is ruined." But since I had been practicing my vibrational maintenance, it was easier to apply the method. I acknowledged the emotional weight, took a deep breath, and said, "I trust that even this is working in my favor, even if I don't yet understand how." Within a few hours, solutions emerged for 2 of the problems, and the third resolved itself days later. This experience showed me that vibrational alignment is stronger than any temporary circumstance. I close my eyes and think about everything that has happened since the day I realized I had the power to change my thoughts. It feels like a lifetime between that version of me full of doubt, fear, and insecurity and the person who now can take a deep breath, align their energy, and consciously choose what they want to feel and live. In the beginning, it all seemed theoretical. I would read about manifestation, positive thinking, and energetic frequency. But in practice, it felt like the world around me was stronger than I was. It was like being in a small boat in the middle of a storm, trying to row against massive waves. But one day, I realized the storm was more inside me than outside. And when I changed what was happening inside, what happened outside began to change too. The past is gone. The future hasn't arrived yet. All that exists is this moment, this second in which you can choose. It's here, in the now, that you have the power to replace a negative thought with a positive one. I learned that each thought is like a seed. And like any seed, it grows when it's nourished. If I plant thoughts of fear, insecurity, and scarcity, what I harvest cannot be any different. But if I plant thoughts of trust, gratitude, and love, inevitably, my harvest will be abundant. Switching a thought is not pretending everything is fine. It's deciding that the energy you put out matters more than temporary circumstances. It's recognizing that your energetic frequency is a magnet, and it attracts more than any single action could. When I understood this, I realized we live in a constant cycle of co-creation. We think, we feel, we vibrate, we attract. If the thought is negative, the feeling is heavy. The vibration drops, and what we attract reflects that. If the thought is positive, the feeling expands, the vibration rises, and opportunities appear. The secret is that this cycle can be interrupted and reprogrammed at any moment. It doesn't matter if you've spent years trapped in negative patterns. A single moment of vibrational alignment already begins to open the space for a new reality. I like to imagine my mind as a radio. If I'm on a station playing sad, heavy music, there's no point in complaining about what I'm hearing. I have to change the station. And to change the station, it's not enough to turn the dial once and forget about it. I need to maintain the new frequency until it becomes stable. That's the daily work. Sustaining positive thinking until it becomes natural. In the beginning, it takes effort, but after a while, it's like breathing. There was a time when I constantly felt sabotaged by my own mind. I'd receive good news, and within seconds, I'd think, something's going to go wrong. It was as if I didn't allow happiness to last. When I started applying what I learned, the change was gradual. At first, I had to stop several times a day to replace thoughts. Now, many times, I notice I don't even let negativity take up space. The switch happens so quickly it feels natural. This doesn't mean I never feel fear or doubt anymore. It means they no longer control me. When they appear, I acknowledge them, thank them for the information they bring, and choose something different. If there's one element that amplifies all of this, it's gratitude. When we truly give thanks, not mechanically, but with feeling, we send the universe the signal that we are already living our desired reality. And the universe, obeying the law of attraction, brings us more reasons to be thankful. Practicing gratitude is not just saying thank you when something good happens. It's finding something to appreciate even on difficult days. It's believing that everything, in some way, is working for your good. If you've made it this far, you already know that life doesn't change through luck or chance alone. It changes when we change our frequency. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment or a big external shift. You can start right now. With the next thought that comes up, imagine living knowing you can alter your inner state in seconds. Align your energy with the magnetic attraction of everything you desire. Imagine waking up feeling that, no matter what happens, The universe is conspiring in your favor. This is not just a distant possibility, it's something you can build with simple choices, repeated over and over. Switching negative thoughts to positive ones immediately is more than a mental exercise. It's a declaration to the universe. I know who I am. I know what I deserve. And I choose to vibrate at the frequency of what I want to live. Do not underestimate the power of this choice. One single thought can be the beginning of a brand new story. The moment is now. The next thought is your opportunity. Your new life begins here. If this message resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe to keep receiving content that raises your energy and strengthens your power of conscious manifestation. Turn on notifications so that each new step reaches you at the right time. The universe always responds. And today, it has already started responding to your movement.